This is video 4 in the How to Turn ChatGPT into Your Marketing Manager mini course, and I'm going and taking you through my practical experience with ChatGPT, how I have used it, how I have discovered what works practically really well, and I encourage you to give this a go. Of course, if you find out something different or something new, I'd be very open for you to let me know what that is, and perhaps even I can learn something new, as we usually do these days with things changing very quickly. So we have been talking about creating a project, not the custom GPT, but starting with a project, looking at different chats within the project and exploring your offer, your intro, your bio, who your target audience is, and how to create posts and articles or other content so that you can have the project come up with a series of chats on each of those topics. And then once you are happy with what's been created here, you ask it for a base knowledge file. And I know I'm repeating this all the time, but it's always good not to have to go back to the previous videos so that you know what we're talking about here. So what I want to show you in this video is the custom GPT, so the one that I'm suggesting to create after you have worked in a project and worked out what you really want. And I want to show you what Jane has done with hers here, which is something that I have not yet done. So Jane's created the custom GPT, and custom GPTs are something that you can share the link to others with, so that others can use it, like a ChatGPT, asking it questions, you are giving it answers, you're giving out information. So Jane, as you can see, she created that on version 4.0 or whatever that is, and you can see by this drop down here there are a whole bunch of different versions there. This is called a legacy model, and there are other legacy models there. They are constantly updating it. Now, I have not investigated what that means, that we are working in this one here in Jane's, in that version model 4.0, but no matter, for what I'm sharing with you here, what I wanted to show you is Jane's custom GPT clearly has got questions here, so that if she gives you, for example, her link to this one, you can use any one of these questions, click on it, and then that will rattle out a chat for you and give you information. Now, Jane's done that in such a way, as I've shown you before, in the GPT itself. She has put information into it. She's given it direction, what to show in regards to each of these questions here. So she has inputted material from her book, for example, which explains these areas of career coaching, career navigation very clearly. That is something you certainly can do if you feel advanced enough, and that's something you want to do. Personally, it's not my direction at this point in time, but you can certainly explore that. I would suggest you get started with the basics, the foundation, the first things that I have shared so far in this mini course with you. But this is what you can do, how you can use a GPT, and I just show you where those areas are. For example, in actual fact, from what I read, I should be able to access, can I access that? No, I cannot access that in here. Well, that's actually quite good. I thought somewhere I was able to. What I wanted to access were the knowledge files. So I'm just going to jump across into my GPT. We are now in my Global Business Networking Live GPT, and the way I would now create something like Jane has done, for example, I go into the edit section and make sure that this is there. In the instructions, you would probably put some details about how to use that. Now, this is the conversation starters. This is where you put those questions, for example, that we saw on Jane's GPT here at the bottom in those boxes, for a better word. So that's where you would create them, and then you need to make sure that they draw on your knowledge files that you've popped in here. And you would also then need to have a look at what the other functionalities, the other features down here. There's an action section, so you can create the action down here, which would be directly in relation to somebody clicks on that button that has a certain question to get information. So this would be giving instructions to the GPT. As I said, I have not explored that. For me, that is at this point in time not relevant, but it shows you how much you can do with it. There's a lot more to it than a lot of people at this point in time are still saying or thinking, oh, it's just doing this or just doing that. No, there is actually a lot more to it. And you can see here, you can go to create. This is the configure section. Now I don't want to click over there because I don't want to lose what I have here at the moment, but you can certainly play with it in your own and have a look at all these different areas. So the moment that you, for example, use the area of conversation starters, if you put something in there, that will show up. We've tested that with someone that I've looked at before. What that does is it actually creates these little question boxes here for you, and then once they open up, it goes further. Like I said, play with it, explore it. You can always delete it again. It's absolutely your time that you want to do. The main aim for this mini course, the information I wanted to share with you, is that I've discovered that no matter how much detail or how it explains in the GPT OpenAI help areas what it can do and what it doesn't do, firstly, that might be outdated already because new things are there. They don't always tell you that there are new things there. They certainly would be working on them. Secondly, I personally found, yes, it does give us explanations, but I found they don't always directly tell me what the practical application is, how that actually works when I'm in here. So for that reason, I wanted to share in this mini course with you my experience from practical working in here has been projects are an excellent way to explore and have all the chats, so the segments of that project in that one area, easy to find, easy to go back into and explore further. Once you have those, you can set up your own custom GPT and use foundation or base knowledge files that the project can create for you. Use those and then set up your custom GPT. If you want to do something like this, a little bit more detailed, elaborate, you certainly can. You just need to explore that in more detail. So that's it for this mini course. Do feel free to get in touch if you have questions or suggestions. I'm very open to both of those. Thank you, and I hope it has been somewhat helpful.